a project that when it runs, the user is prompted for inputs. Now, which category do you want to filter on? Chocolate. All right? So I can develop these prompts. The beauty of this is that these prompts will also translate to stored processes if I save this as a stored process. So I'll get that same prompt in Excel or in a web page if I develop them here in Enterprise Guide. So I'll show you how to create a prompt. Now, when you create a prompt, what you'll be doing is you'll go into this prompt manager. Prompt manager creates prompts. It doesn't say if or when or where you should use them. All it does is creates the prompt. So I can create 100 prompts in here and never use any of them. All right, when we first go in there aren't going to be any prompts. I'm going to create a couple of prompts. After I create them, I'm going to specify where to use them. All right? So when I create a new prompt, there's a lot of things I can specify. For example, I might want to require a non-blank value. I might want to hold on to the value to be used later. We're going to do that, and I'll explain that in just a minute. I might want to hide a prompt. I might want to have some prompts that only administrators can use. And I might want to make prompt read-only. I might want to prevent people from being able to select things. Maybe some type of system selection, system option. All right? When I add a new prompt, there's another tab up here. We were just looking at the general tab. Now I'm looking at the prompt type and values tab. I can specify the type of prompt. Text is, I guess, the loosest. It's the most generic. If I say text and I put users types in a value, it's pretty dangerous, right? A user can and will type in anything. That's very dangerous. That's going to go out to some program. If they've typed in a double quote and a pound sign, that might mess up my program. So what I've specified here is it's text, but the user must select from a list of values. In this case, it's a dynamic list. We're going to be using a static list. The dynamic list references a table. If the table changes, the list will reflect what's in the table. We're just going to create a static list. We're going to keep it simple. Question?
Does the dynamic list table have to be special? Like a certain type of table? Because
Yep.
I tried to load in the table, the data we've been using, it didn't work. I was just curious.
It does not have to be, there's nothing special about it.
Okay.
It can be any table. It doesn't even have to be a SAS table. You probably don't want it to be too big,
Okay.
right? Because every row in that table is going to display in a drop-down menu. So typically you would create a special table just for prompting.
Okay.
And you would feel like maybe I have a table called countries. So I want to allow users to select a country. But I don't want to feed them to some transaction table that has all these countries. This could just be this enormous drop-down list.
Is it going to be embedded in the SAS code also?
In the
SAS code?
yes, it'll basically that's what happens. It gets embedded in SAS code. In that, when the prompt executes, it queries that table for those values, which then display in the prompt drop. Okay, you can look at the code if you want. I mean, I'll show you how to do that. All right, so what we're going to do is the user